if you talk about one of the characters he the most in series of home animation, the most mentioned name is probably Morok. First appearance with a dangerous and mysterious appearance. Morok, it makes many people think this is going to be a really cool character. But over time, you become a character again. He was hit the most in the movie, almost always have to make sandbags for the enemy. But few AIs notice that, despite being regularrly defeated, Morok is still the one who has achieved a lot. Important, even, contribute to changing the landscape, many of the major battles in the series. So Morok is really and because SAO, a character who eats onions so often, is considered one of the pillars, the most important of the series. Let's learn about Morok today. Morok has shown himself to be a benevolent and compassionate person, absolutely, as opposed to his ambitious brother. In the past, Morok used to be Leviathan and the Demon King, fight against the dangerous demons. To end the scourge, the Demon King sacrificed himself to become a seal to imprison the devil, except being locked up forever. But then, the world didn't go back to normal. The opposite. More and more monsters and strange phenomena appear. Also, during this time, Leviathan begins to degenerate when he wanted to take the Demon King's crown. Even if it could kill your own father. Realize this, Morok has stood up against Leviathan. Morok officially appeared in the 5th season of the series. After feeling the strange power of Leviathan, I came to face him. But after realizing Leviathan is too strong to defeat, Morok forced to retreat. Leviathan won't let you go easy on him. Killer chase. Morok managed to escape. While moving through the dimensions of space, Morok accidentally sees KV6 passing through a strange gate. I followed and discovered it's a German experimental base. Morok decided to find out. I hope I can find something useful. Then when I come back, Morok showed up at the right time. Leviathan is trying to control Ratat with the upgraded main gun. Morok shoots out a laser. May the souls of warriors that Leviathan is controlling to become chaotic. Notice the situation is not right. Leviathan retreats, leaving 2.cloned version. Not handled with the help of Rat. They both defeated the cloned Leviathan. Then, Morok wakes Rat and wants to take you to the repair. But not in time to leave. Parasites in the Rat, again, gain control. The attack on Morok forced him to fight one more. Again, finally, Morok controls Rat and gets signed. Parasites out of his head. Then Morok left to prepare for the next plan. And Rat was taken by the blacksmith to repair. KV6 lost its life and was resurrected, but out of control. Morok couldn't do anything, so he left. This action accidentally caught Leviathan's attention. Leviathan then brainwashed KV. Assemble an army of monsters from the land of the dead. Go to the Demon King's castle. Recognize this danger. Morok begins its search. And call on allies to prepare for the big battle is coming. After calling upon a large number of allies, the Morok group began to counterattack, and at the most critical time, the V6 also remembered who I was. Destroy the rap that controls me and sacrifice. That's the right time. Leviathan appeared with his weapon. A giant robot aimed at destroying the seal. The attack took place from behind the fort. Morok decided to stay in the way. Others have to retreat. In this battle, Morok almost ate a whole bunch of onions. When you're dealing with Leviathan, to stop the bullet from the robot, you were finally defeated. Lucky, instead of being near the Demon King's seal gate, Morok accidentally absorbed some of the power and escaped before being completely taken down. Back to the castle. Morok to take KV6's body and meet the allies again. Now, everyone knows the real plan. It turned out that the Demon King had anticipated being targeted. It's a decoy to destroy Leviathan. And even if Leviathan got him, he can't have all the power either, because a piece of the crown was the demon. Business for Morok. So Morok gave it to the blacksmith to hide. After explaining everything, the whole group heads to a disengagement base. Here they fight monsters, and finally, Morok used up all its remaining power to move the group to a Soviet base. At the Moroccan base, he had to rest because he was too weak to heal himself. Only when gravity absorbs a little bit of energy from the crown piece, you've just temporarily overcome the crisis. But not long after, heart sign, the parasite was killed in the head by Rat reborn. He saw KV's body. 6 and take this body as host. Recognize the danger of Morok. Even if you are weak, join the war. The result is clear. You can't beat it. After an exhausting battle, Morok fainted and was almost devoured by KV6. If Fergeron doesn't come to the rescue, and KV44 in time to defeat the monster. After that event, Rat and the blacksmith must find the material to fix Morok. After a multi-purpose journey, Morok is finally fully repaired. But as soon as it's done, the gate opens again, and the monster guards the furnace, forging royal appearance. To protect those who helped me, Morok has shown extremely overwhelming power, successfully knocked me down. This monster. After that battle, however, Morok fell into a deep sleep, in a dream. You're constantly seeing Leviathan and past memories. I don't know. Morok has been quietly manipulated by Leviathan. Leviathan tricked SKM that he would resurrect KV6 if you can. Crown when SKM gives back the crown. Leviathan immediately returned to a dot shape. No. Coarser and tougher than before. Now I know why he is not died before. Leviathan. He infused his power into the Demon King's armor, which was later melted down to fix Morok. So Leviathan is reborn. He drags Morok into his mind to devour you, in which Morok faced a fake version, appearance of his father, though trying to fight. Morok is still cut into Kit Kat bars. Fortunately, you accidentally stepped on a crystal that imprisoned demons. It restores the body. But even so, Morocco continues to be stuffed with onions, and throw it into the dark in the mind. Leviathan has no choice. Morok is forced to awaken the black magic inside of him, turned into Morok Fire Temple. With new power, you beat the imposter, and started quietly supporting the Soviets from the darkness. Later, when rescued SKM from Leviathan, Morok decided to confront his brother directly. The two brothers had a massive battle. But in the end, Leviathan is still stronger. He knocked out Morok and absorbed you. However, Morocco continues to resist inside and keep eating more onions. To realize the nature of light, remaining in Leviathan, Morok tried to shake his brother. The impact of Morocco, with Mimic sucking up the power of darkness. Leviathan is really liberated. Then, Leviathan goes stop Mimics, break the evil seal. And Morok, back to rest, to recover, and support the Soviets. When you are strong enough, recovery. Morok then returns and accidentally encounters the Executioner in its original form. The battle is on the side of the Executioner, because he's no longer restrained by Leviathan. Even when KV-44 comes to the aid, they're still overwhelmed. There's no choice. Morok decided to merge with KV-44, forming KV-44. But even so, Exasiusner is too strong. Morok finally came up with a risky plan. Use your weight so that the Exasiusner can't dodge. Shot him straight in the face. This attack was successful. Take down the most dangerous person in the maze. After that battle, the Morok was welcomed by the Soviets. We can finally go back to rest. After a long journey full of... After 7 failed to prevent Mimic opening seal, Leviathan and Mimic arrived at the Soviet base, where Morocco is. After, we've heard about a new threat called the Technology Devil. German and Soviet troops temporarily cooperated. Leviathan and Mimic are being repaired. Then Morok, Mimic, and Leviathan set out to find a parasite. Especially something that can help. Min destroys the Technology Devil's stone tower. This campaign was finally successful, and Morocco continues to fight with the Alliance to fight the Tech Devil. In another battle, when the hybrid is being burned by the Morok has appeared to prevent, but now the escalator is no longer an old friend, which has become the monster of the Tech Devil. The two sides immediately had a tense battle, and Morok finally managed to repel the Then, Morok with group of German monsters meet the Soviet actor, and join forces to destroy an enemy technology plant. Sometime later, Morok accidentally met SKM again. But this time, SKM, he was even more dangerous before he sold his soul to the devil. Realized you can't be saved anymore. Morok had to fight for real. At first, Morocco proved to be dominant, but then just like my onion tradition, you start playing bull and you get hurt. Morok then recovered. To prepare for the real battle, SKM also upgrades itself. When they're both ready, the final battle between them will break out. This time Morok won. But he was so exhausted that he had to ask a mechanic, forged to repair workshop. After returning to Morocco, Morok began to realize that it's almost as if it's just a sandbag. You're always the one to protect and support your team. But in the end, it's always the one who gets hit the most, so Morok decided to look for a new power. The blacksmith agreed to help, but the training is quite harsh. Morok has to fight a series of robots. Each battle only recovered a little strength. Even when you hit the boss, your power hasn't changed much. Realize, Morok hasn't really broken through yet. The worker, forged to say that real power must come from the Morok himself. Open yourself up, so he began to use extreme methods to force Morok crossed the line. He even fired a bullet, giant cannon towards you. The moment Morok stopped that bullet, I finally woke up. A completely new power. A different shape from the previous black magic. The new power is... We have to wait for the next episode of Home. Animation knows. For about personality, Morok is a very kind and moral person. I don't like meaningless battles, and I don't want to bleed unnecessarily. Morocco has no desire for power or fame. And you're almost standing still. Power over a long period of time. It also shows that you're not chasing power for personal benefit. Morok is also a very responsible person. I know I can't beat Leviathan. You still stand against him, just to protect others. With allies, Morok, always someone who is willing to take the hit and take responsibility, even when you are at your weakest. I still want to solve the problem myself, instead of letting others take risks. The most obvious example is when KV-6 is taken over by parasites. Morocco has stood up for itself. I know the situation is dangerous. Morok is also a man of great importance. When the hybrid loses control, and there's almost no hope of a cure. Both, neither Atan nor the German monsters expected anything. But Morok is determined to bring the hybrid back. Even though you yourself were in a near situation, it's exhausting though. Morok also has a pretty straight side and being a little rude to someone you consider an enemy, as Mimic and Leviathan are being repaired. Morok continuous mimic Eddie Stone about his ability to sneak and distract. So much so that the mimics themselves don't know whether it's praise or the escalator has joined the tech devil. Morok flatly called him a monster. Makes the escalator extremely angry. Out. Morocco is a very good leader. Many times you stand out, command and support teammates in battles. However, because they often take all the responsibility, Morocco is the one who has suffered the most. Then to the recent episodes, Morok really realized his own weaknesses. From there, you're not just thinking about protecting people anymore. I'm starting to understand that I have to be stronger. Because only if you have enough power, you can really protect people. Of appearance and strength, Morok, in shape, it's normally a big, bunker tank. It's different from the Leviathan. Morok's design is more angular, and carry heavy grey tones, but not too dark. On the head and body of the car are mounted many sharp horn details with the red eyes. It shows that Morok belongs to the same demon race, Leviathan. Morok's equipment is also quite diverse. You've got a main gun with an orange head. Both sides have laser guns. The front and back have fire support. In the chest is a side gun. He's got a small laser weapon on his head. It looks like you're watching. Morok is a warrior who balances speed, strength and defensive ability. There are no superior indicators, completely compared to the rest. However, because the Morok himself is not a warmonger, so you're usually not so dominant on the battlefield, but that doesn't mean Morocco is weak. You still have special abilities. And there are even powers that are not inferior. Leviathan has wound healing. Create a teleport port to move or dodge the blow. Create a defensive shield, mouth fire spray. Create a red force field to repel the enemy. Morok's greatest trick is to accumulate energy, then shoot out to raise energy from 2 auxiliary cannons while spraying fire itself to finish off the opponent. There's also another form called Morocco. Morok Fire Temple. In this shape, Morok's body burns. It's become more like a monster, and the details on the body are also more thorny before the transformation. All of Morok's power stats are up. After the Battle of Leviathan shape, this black magic is almost no longer used. And at the most recent time, Moro already has BA.Form 0, the latest version of its upgrade. In this shape, appearance of Moro become more modern and mechanized than before. The details on the body were also redesigned. It looks cleaner and stronger. The weapon system also has a few minor changes. At the same time, the amount of firepower increased. This shows that this is an upgrade. It's about fighting power. However, in addition to changes in appearance and equipment, I haven't seen it yet. Moro not showing any new abilities clearly. So to know how strong this shape really is, maybe we'll have to wait until Morok. Bad dots inform layout on the battlefield. Summing up, if I had to describe Morok in a simple way, that's eating onions and carrying the team. Throughout the story, Morok is almost the sandbag of the whole series, when almost AI can also hit or hurt you. But at the same time, you're the one who carries the most. Always stand up to protect your team and take the risk for them. That's why when we talk about Morocco, many people don't remember come to me as the strongest character, but remember you as an indispensable pillar of Saris and you. What do you think about Morocco, and whether is this your favorite character? Please comment, let me know.